here with a new chapter for you. The name of the chapter is From the Diary of Anne Frank. It's written by Anne Frank. And this chapter, From the Diary of Anne Frank, it's from your textbook, First Flight. First of all, I'll tell you about Anne Frank. She was a German-born Jewish girl. Anne Frank, her sister Margaret Frank, her parents Otto Frank and Edith Frank, they moved to Netherlands from Germany after Adolf Hitler and the Nazis came into power there in 1933 and made life increasingly difficult for Jews. In 1942, Frank and her family went into hiding in Anne's father, Otto Frank's office building, and they remained there in hiding for 2 years. Then the Franks were discovered in 1944 and they were sent to concentration camps. Only Anne's father was survived. After the war ended, Anne's father Otto Frank returned to Amsterdam and found Anne's diary. He got it published under the name The Diary of a Young Girl. And this diary was actually gifted to Anne Frank by her father on her 13th birthday. And it records the events of her life from 12th June 1942 until 1st August 1944. And this diary was first published in 1947 and it was originally written in Dutch language. And this diary has been translated into almost 70 languages, and this diary provides an intimate examination of daily life under Nazi occupation, and it is one of the most widely read accounts of the Holocaust. And this lesson from the diary of Anne Frank, it's an excerpt from the diary of Anne Frank. And in this diary, Anne expresses her thoughts and she names the diary Kitty, which she considers as her true friend. And she mentions about her childhood, her family, and a lot of things that she told no one else. First, let me read the chapter. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. Who is the author here? We all know that it is Anne Frank. Okay, so she feels that it's really a strange or unusual experience. She says that it's a really strange experience for someone like me. Who is the me here? It is Anne Frank. Okay, so she says that it's really a strange or unusual experience for her to write a diary. Why she said like this? Because not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. So she says that it's a strange or unusual experience for her because it was for the first time she was writing a diary. She says that here because she says that she has never written anything before. Okay, so it was for the first time she was writing a diary, and she also says that even if I write a diary, nobody will be interested in reading the musings of a 13-year-old girl. What's the meaning of musings? Musings means thoughts. Okay, so she says that nobody will be interested in the thoughts of a young girl, especially because it's written by a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Okay, so what makes writing in a diary a strange experience for Anne Frank? She says that 2 reasons make writing in a diary a strange experience for her. One is that she has never written anything before, and the second one is that perhaps no one will be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Okay, in the thoughts of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. And she says that, oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. So she says that I don't know whether anybody is interested or not, and she decides that she should write if she feels like doing so. Okay, she decides she should write the diary, or she should start writing the diary because she feels like doing so. And she says that she wants to write a diary. Why? Because she wants to get all things off her chest. She says that to get all kinds of things off my chest. Okay, and she wants to get all things off her chest. What is the meaning of getting things off my chest? It means that to relieve herself from keeping these secrets in her mind. So here we all know that we have friends, we talk to each other and we share our thoughts and all. Okay, but maybe this girl doesn't have a very close friend. That's why she feels the need to write a diary, because there were a lot of thoughts in her mind and she needed to get them off her mind. She wanted to remove all those things from her mind, and she wanted to get relief from that. Okay, we all know that by saying everything or by sharing our secrets with others, we will be relieved. Okay, so she also wanted to get things all of her chest. And paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. So here she says that paper has more patience than people. What is the meaning of this saying, paper has more patience than people? Because people may not be interested to listen to you, and they sometimes get bored, tired, or have not mood or time to listen to you. And they maybe get irritated, and sometimes they have lost their patience also while they were listening to you. So, but paper never does this. It definitely has more patience than people, because it cannot react. It cannot do anything, and it will just keep quiet, and it will take as much as you write. So you can go on writing whatever you like and as much as you like. So here that is why she said that the paper has more patience than people. Then why did she think of this? She said here, while I thought of the saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless. Actually, bored is the meaning of listless, with no energy or interest. So here she thought like this because one day while she was sitting in her home feeling depressed means feeling bored and listless. Listless means that without any enthusiasm or energy, and she could not even decide whether to sit inside the house or go out at that time. Okay, and I finally stayed where I was, brooding. Actually, what's the meaning of brooding? Brooding is actually, it means that engaged in deep thoughts about something that makes one sad, angry, or worried. So she finally decided to stay at home, and she sat being depressed and in deep thought. Okay, and yes, paper does have more patience. And since I'm not planning to let anyone else read diary, unless I should ever find a real friend. So here she said that now she had deep thoughts about writing a diary. And what does she call this diary? She called it as a stiff-backed notebook. We can see it's stiff-backed notebooks. Okay, she called it as a stiff-backed notebook. And she says that even if I write a diary, I'll not let anybody read what I have written unless I find a real friend. So she doesn't have a real friend. From this we can understand that she doesn't have a real friend. By real friend she means that with whom she can share all her secrets. It probably won't make a bit of difference. Whether I write a diary or not, it's not going to make a big difference right now. Now I'm back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. So now she is going to tell us the reason why she decides to write a diary. It's because she is lonely and she has no friend to talk to. She says that I don't have a friend. Okay, that's why she started to write a diary. And let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world, and I am not. Then she says that why she feels the need for a friend. She says that she is a 13-year-old girl, and she says that she has no friend at all, because people will not believe this. Why? Because she is a teenager. And teenagers usually have a lot of friends. So she says that no one is going to believe that a young girl like her is so alone. And she also says that even though I don't have a friend, but I'm not completely alone. Practically, I'm not completely alone. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. So she says that she's not completely alone because she has a loving parents and a 16-year-old sister and near about 30 people whom can be called as friends, loving aunts and a good place, good home to live in. So this many people are always around her. Now on the surface, I seem to have everything except my one true friend. All I think about when I'm with friends is having a good time. I can bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary, everyday things. But she says that she always feels the lack of the presence of a true friend, even though she has this many people with her. And she does have a good time with friends. Obviously, she has a good time with her friends. They talk about things, but not the real things that is actually going on their lives. So she says that she can't talk with them very intimately. She can't share the things very closely with them and can't share all the things with them. That is why she said that she doesn't have a real or true friend. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. So here she says that she that's why she is unable to get closer with them, and that is the problem. So that's why she says that she is going to write a diary, then she can clearly clear her chest and she can get rid of all her thoughts from her mind also, because she will get a person to share everything. Okay, here the person here it is, or the friend here it is the diary. Okay, so she wants to confide, she wants to share all those things in her mind to a friend, to a true friend. She needs it. Maybe it's my fault that we won't confide in each other. In any case, that's just how things are. So she feels that maybe it's for her problem, because it's here she says that it's her problem because she is not able to trust anyone to tell her personal things. Here you can see confide. What's the meaning of confide? To tell personal things privately to a person that one trusts. So here she admits her fault. What is her fault here, or what is her problem? She doesn't have any friend to confide, to tell her personal things and to share her things. Okay, so that's why maybe she is not able to get closer to any one of her friends. She is not able, and she is not able to trust anyone also. Sometimes because of that, she is not able to get closer to any one of her friends. And unfortunately, they are not liable to change. This is why I have started the diary. And she feels that the current situation cannot be changed. So she said that this is the reason why she started writing the diary, because she doesn't have a close friend to confide in, to share her personal things with her, to share her secrets. Okay, she doesn't have a close and true friend. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do. But I want the diary to be my friend, and I'm going to call this friend Kitty. Generally, when people write diary, they note down all the facts about them. But I don't want to write in this diary just like what others are doing. I want to make it feel like a real friend. So she says that she doesn't have a real friend to confide in. So she wants to make her diary as a real friend, because this diary is going to be my long awaited friend. Here she calls her diary as a long awaited friend. Okay. And so she is going to write things in different manner, just like how she is going to confide things to her friend. And she also says that she is going to name her diary as Kitty. She is going to call her diary as Kitty, and it's going to be her best friend. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plant right in, I'd better provide a brief sketch of my life. much as I dislike doing so. So first she is telling here, she says that if I start straight away, nobody is going to understand what I am writing. What she is saying here, if I start writing straight away, nobody is going to understand what I am writing. So first of all, I am going to tell you a brief sketch of my life. Then only you can understand what I am going to write in my diary, even though she doesn't want to do so. So here she is going to give a brief sketch about her life. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on June 1929. So she says that first she is talking about her father and mother, and she says about her father, he's the most lovable father one can get in life. And she says that her parents got married when father was 36 and mother was 25. And here she says about her sister. We all know her sister. Her name is Margaret Frank. And she was born in 1926. Okay. And our Anne Frank was born on 12th June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father immigrated to Holland in 1933, and my mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margaret and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. So here in 1933, her father moved to Holland. Followed by that, her mother went to Holland in September, whereas the children, Margaret and Anne, both these sisters were stayed with their grandmother. Margaret went to Holland in December and I followed in February. Then I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margaret. Okay, so here then Margaret went to Holland in December and then Anne followed her in February after 2 months. And when she went to Holland in February, it was actually a birthday present for her sister. Plunked down. You can see plunked down. What is the meaning of plunked down? It means given as a surprise. So here her visit to Holland, it was a surprise and like a birthday gift to her sister Margaret. I started right away at the Montessori nursery school. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time started in the first form. And when he or she reached Holland, she was sent to Montessori nursery school. And it was her first school. Then she was there for 6 years and she started going to the first form. In the sixth form, my teacher was Mrs. Kipperas, the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking farewell. When she reached here, sixth form, okay, when she reached in the sixth form, her teacher was Mrs. Kipperas, the headmistress, and they both were so attached to each other. So at the end of the year, there was a heartbreaking farewell because they loved each other so much, and so that is why both of them were in tears at that time. In the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation. So my birthday passed with little celebration. In 1941, her grandmother fell ill, so that's why her grandmother had to undergo an operation. So she says that here, Anne says that her birthday passed with little celebration. Actually, what is the meaning of little celebration? Without celebration. Okay, there was no celebration. So in 1941, there was no birthday celebration for her. Grandma died in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. So she says that next year in 1942, her grandmother died. And no one knows that how much she loves her grandmother and she misses her grandmother more than anyone. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and Grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. So her family has decided to celebrate her birthday in a great way because they had not celebrated her last year's birthday due to her grandmother's illness. And she also said that during her birthday celebration, a separate candle was lit for her grandmother. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20th June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. And she says that four of us, who are this four of us actually? Her father, her mother, she, and her sister. They all are doing well now. And she says that she was sincerely dedicated to her diary. And then she brings us to the present date of 20th June, Saturday. And these all events she was written on this date.